Now, another question, to block or not to block? I blocked my blanket, and you know, blocking, it actually helps with evening out the stitches. It in this particular case, because I didn't add an official border, my last border, it was a single crochet, so it was folding over like this, and you could see that last black row, so that wasn't nice. So that helped to flatten the edge, and it now when it folds, when I lay the blanket out, it actually doesn't fold over, it stays flat. And also it keeps the fringe flat, you know, kind of nice and even. Plus it was easier for me to cut the fringe to length because you know, when it's kind of evened out, it's much easier. Now, full disclosure, there were a couple of downsides to the blocking. So first off, I noticed that when I was before blocking, my blanket was fluffier, for want of a better word. That's the only way I can describe it. It's as if the blocking kind of flattened the stitches and flattened the yarn. So I kind of preferred, you know, that texture pre-blocking rather post-blocking. It's still very nice texture, it's still very soft, but there is that slight variation that you get. And another thing, I think when I was laying out flat to dry, I may have overstretched the blanket, and not so much overstretched, but maybe I would have stretched it more than I should have. So next time when I'm washing the blanket, I think I will try and lay it out not as, you know, not to stretch the edges, but somehow let it be slightly loose. Of course, you have to straighten everything out, that it doesn't dry into kind of awkward shape, you know, if you stretch one end but you don't do the other end, that's also a problem. But overstretching is not good also because it kind of opens up, you know, like when you look at it, maybe you can't see it here on camera, but in person I can see that you can see the black stitches through those beige ones. So that's one. It's again, it's a small thing. The overall impression is great, and I suppose it's only us crocheters who look at these stitches separately and start, you know, nitpicking and looking for faults. But realistically, most people, when they come into the room, they see it, they say, oh my God, this is beautiful. Did you make it, you know? So it's only a small thing, but I thought it's worth mentioning. Another thing that I really want to mention is a pro tip also, that before blocking, before doing anything, read manufacturer's instructions about the yarn that you're using. Because I tell you, with this drops yarn that I used, I was going to put it into wool cycle in my machine. And thank God I actually read the manufacturer's instructions, because they were saying, no, don't put into the wool cycle into your machine, because you will felt it. Because it's not a pre-treated wool, and it's the best way to wash it is actually by hand and just gently dry it, squeeze it, and don't do any kind of, you know, tumble drying or anything like that. So I could have ruined the blanket after all those hours of working and all the money spent on the yarn. I could have ruined it by felting it in the machine if I hadn't read the instructions. So whether you choose this particular yarn, whether you choose a different substitute yarn, make sure you read manufacturer's instructions. Even if you're only using just water to block it, just do it. Another thing I thought, if you are not going to block the blanket and if you don't want to lose that fluffiness of the yarn itself, I thought it would be a good idea to, you know, to treat those ends and the edges and the fringe with a bit of water. Just simply lay it out flat and just wet the sides. And you can actually, for wool, let's say if you're using wool, you can easily simply just iron it out. And that way you will have a nice straight fringe and a nice edge. And yet you won't flatten your fabric the way I did by blocking. Leafy Hedges Blanket pattern is available in my Ribblr and Etsy shops right now, and I will be later putting it onto my own website hobbyistontheroad.com and also Ribblr and Lovecrafts platforms. And I hope you'll really enjoy making this pattern.